Hey Radiant Souls, it's Kashira. Welcome back to Energy of Allowing. So, today I want to talk about being black and not religious. So, you guys, this is such an interesting topic, and I can remember for the longest time just being so afraid to talk about this. Um, I think basically a lot of black people are religious, and I grew up in a religious household, and I had so many family members that were like pastors and deacons. So I think a lot of black people come from really religious black backgrounds. Backgrounds. But basically, what I found for myself is once I got older, there's this freedom, or you realize that there's a freedom for you to kind of decide what feels right to you. And I think that's one of the aspects of being human. It's like that freedom of choice that I think should be honored. Although sometimes I feel like people can look at you differently once they find out that you're not religious. Like, it's almost like they feel like they realize, like, wow, you must be evil, or you must be a bad person, or you're not doing right by the Lord, so they can't really think much of you. And I find that it usually seems to me, just because I have a lot of friends who are religious and non-religious, like, for me as a person that's more spiritual than religious, I feel like I'm really open and accepting of other people regardless if they're religious or not. But I don't feel like I get the same in return. Like, I've had friends where I told them that, like, well, they invited me to church, and I was like, oh no, like, I'm not religious. And it was like a problem. So I've just had experiences where there was more judgment, or if they don't say up front that it's a problem, it's like they'll ask you, then they start questioning you, like, so why don't you believe this? And then it becomes a debate, and it's like, I want to be able to say that I am not religious and not have you feel like I'm challenging what you believe. Like, if I am deciding something different than what you're deciding, that doesn't mean that I'm saying that what you decided is wrong, or that, like, you can't, just you do you and allow others to choose whatever they feel is right for them. I think in our world, it's just so hard for some people to just not be judgmental. It's like when they're raised with something that they feel is like the absolute truth, then it's almost like they feel like they are then in the position to judge everyone who doesn't follow that truth. But I think that's not the way, that's not the healthiest way for it to go. Like, we should be able to allow people to come to their own truth and then respect that, like, okay, that's your truth. And it don't have to be a debate. And it don't have to mean that, like, my choice is somehow challenging your choice. Like, no, 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 no. I am choosing to... That's the thing, guys, about what I believe, or what I've come to believe. Like, I'm not even going to go around preaching, like, listen, you think that's the truth, what I believe is the truth. No, I'm just going to be like, okay, this is the conclusion that I've come to for myself. And I don't necessarily have to go around, like, trying to convert people to agree with me. And I think that's, like, the evolution of, like, a mature mind. As the mind matures, you realize that, like, is it really about being right, or is it more so about just seeing other people and their different choices and being okay with it? Like, guys, you do not know how hard that is for some people. Like, as soon as you disagree with them in any way, or as soon as you make a different choice than them, they feel like they have to, like, attack you or defend their choice. Like, no, you do you and I'm gonna do me. Basically, most of what we believe about God is based on how we were raised. And if you were raised Christian, you're most likely, well, some people are raised Christian and they kind of, like me, just decide for themselves that something else feels like the truth. But a lot of times, like, like most of my siblings, they're all still Christian, and like that's okay. You know what I mean? So even within my family, I have to be like, I don't necessarily believe that. I don't necessarily believe the same as you guys, but I still love you guys, and I'm still gonna accept you guys, you know? And I found like my siblings, they're fine, like they don't care. But yeah, I just feel like there needs to be, like, listen, there's black people out there that are Buddhists, there's black people out there that are atheists, agnostic. Listen, whatever you feel like connected to, there's nothing wrong with you being able to decide that for yourself. And I love that. Right? Isn't that what we need more of in this world? It's like acceptance, like full acceptance. Like, okay, that's great. But I mean, I think sometimes debating can serve its purpose, but a lot of times just a waste of time. Like, I don't necessarily need you to believe what I believe, and that's just it. And a lot of times that'll save you so much headache. When you're having a debate with somebody, just realize, listen, how important is it for them to really agree with you? How much energy is it worth? A lot of times it's really not worth that much energy. And a lot of times if you realize that you've put too much energy into something, you'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't even have to respond like that. You learn for next time. So yes, you guys, I just kind of wanted to talk about just my spirituality. The way that I see God is more so not like as, obviously not physical, more so as like a expansive consciousness that we're all a part of. And I just feel like each human being is like a part of that. Like we think we're separate, but really we're just like a piece of the whole. So we're all having these experiences or experiencing what it feels like to be human. But at the end of the day, we're all part of like a whole consciousness, a whole energy. So that's really how I feel about what I think God is. I think for me, the parts of religion that I don't like, especially like the male-female dynamic, it's like a lot of times the male is held up higher than the female. You know, like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Like, okay, well, the woman must be the Holy Spirit because where's the woman in all this? So I think there's definitely not enough feminine celebration in some religions. So I decided that I can look at other religions. I can look at religion and see the value in it and take the important things that I can get from it. But at the same time, I'm spiritual. I'm more spiritual than religious. So I feel like there is a freedom in that. So comment below. Let me know what you believe. And do you find that it's hard to kind of be friends with people who are of different beliefs than you? Let me know in the comment section below. If you are spiritual and not religious, like what has that journey been like for you? All right, looking forward to chatting with you guys more in the comments. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love. Peace.